G's. No, I'm not letting shit be. What about them times when I ain't have a damn thing to eat? Niggas spend bands on their jeans.
Hey y'all, come sit with me, take a sip with me, because somewhere in the world it's cocktail time. But is it sweet enough? Welcome to Suite Lyf NYC with your girl Shane B. And I am here with International Bigga. FYI, we are sponsored by The Doer, Avnio, Earthia, and WVMR. Hey, how you doing tonight?
Good, bro.
I'm happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Manager, entrepreneur, right?
Producer. Let's
talk about that. No manners.
Cool. Yeah, that's what
we about to touch all bases tonight.
Yes, please.
Right,
Let's do it.
I feel like you're introducing me to the world. You know what I mean? Because we know you're big. You're bigger.
Yeah, big.
Bigger. I'm very excited to actually be sitting here with you today, and it's been a while, and I want to thank you for taking the time out to come sit with me, because I know that you're really busy.
Yeah, I appreciate being here.
Yeah, every phone call you picked up, like you're a real genuine man, and I like that. I think that's really awesome. I like to start off every show with like a topic, right? And one of the biggest topics I've been been going around lately is I don't want to say the status of hip hop, but I guess the nature that hip hop is in now. Like, what would you say about the upcoming rappers today? Like, what's your opinion on what's currently happening in hip hop today, or what hip hop is today? Because what I hear a lot about this younger generation is that they're not lyrical, they're trash. There's these different things. So I'm curious, as being a producer and working with a lot of the young generation, what do you feel about the current state of hip hop?
Music is fun. It's fun. People, they're having fun with it. It's not much so of his job anymore.
Right.
It's all on, from my, perception of what it is these young dudes are having fun with it. They're enjoying it. They're young, they're energetic, and they're giving, the people the music that they want to hear.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I grew up listening to all types of Whitney Houston, Kelly Price.
Okay.
I didn't want to hear it, but I didn't want to listen to Whitney Houston. I didn't want to listen to Kelly Price.
Wait a minute, Whitney's my aunt.
No, no disrespect, but that wasn't my type of music.
Right.
And so right now it's more so they taking control of what they want to listen to, and they're giving the people, their crowd of people of, the music choice of what they want to listen to, and it's fun. It's not. They're not making it as difficult as it once was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I honestly feel like I can say this. I feel like for their time, I think they're doing an amazing job. Like, ultimately, I feel like they're telling their story just like we told our story. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what's most important. So I can agree with that.
And time, a lot of time has changed. You know what I mean? As far as when older people have grown up to now. Mm-hmm. So like you said, they're elaborating their story. Right. So you personally, or someone of, from back in the days, may not understand them. They may not, understand, exactly what it is that they're speaking of, or what they're going through, because you're not living the life that they're living.
Right.
Just as well as if I was to speak to a person that's 16, 17 about something I had going on when I was a shorty, they might not understand me.
Yeah,
so, you know what I mean? It's like a different language. It's a different world that they live in. So they're just making the music for the world that they live in. Right. Which is cool, and it's understandable. And they're having fun doing it.
So right now, who would be your favorite artist? Like younger artists now that...
Ross Swish, OD.
And we see that you've done some work with Ross
Swish, that's my brother. My brother. And not just because he's lyrical, it's because he really works hard.
Right.
Like, he works so hard. Like, I've never in my life, ever, and I've been, I was fortunate enough to be with, rappers growing up, certain different artists. Shout out to Mano. That was like one of the first artists that kind of like gave me the privilege. When I was a kid, one of my best friends, Snow, he was actually, somewhat signed to him. So that gave me the opportunity just to be around and just to go to video shoots and go to clubs. And this is, we talking 06, 07. You know what I mean? So, and
I met you like 60 the way you be talking sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I got an old soul. Like I said, everything is privileged. I was privileged, to be accepted by the older dudes when I was young. because they seen something in me. So, you know, like I said, when I was young, I was definitely around, you know, a lot of artists. But as far as, like I said, when it comes to Rod Swish, he really works so hard. Like,
so his work ethic is off the hook.
Beyond, like, it's scary.
That's what's admiring.
To the point where at first it was kind of like, damn, bro, we're not going to the club, we're not going out to eat, we're not, you know, you're young, bro, you got a whole life ahead of you. But he's like, yo, I want this, like, this is what I want. And I'd rather be in the studio, I'd rather bust my ass here, and I'll figure it out. Like, and
I feel like you work hard now and play later.
Yeah, that, see, again, a person can lose that ideology because of so much going on around them.
That's true.
The clubs, the women, the parties, the clothes, the everything. And you can lose sight of what's in front of you or what you really want. And, you know, being privileged to be around Rod Swish, being privileged to be around, you know, the whole Empire record, you know, family, it showed me that they really work so hard. And that gave me another, you know, like another breath to just be like, you know what, I'm going to just do what I got to do. Because I can't be out here playing and they not playing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So basically you learning from him. So
ultimately.
Let's shout out Rod Swish. Rod Swish, yes. And Empire, let's shout them out. Like,
my
that's
dog,
dope.
Bobby Fisher, you know, the whole family over there. You know what I'm saying?
Right, dope.
Dusty. You also know.
Yeah. So you work with Dusty O'Kane also, right?
No, not really work with him, but, you know, just being around Rod and, you know, being, you know, privileged to just be in the building. You know, I get a chance to interact with them. Don Q, that's my dog.
Right.
You know, so just interacting with him is like, it's just giving me the opportunity to be able to see firsthand the process. You know, to hear the music, to hear the beats, to hear them go on there, to watch them go on there, lay a track down, to watch them, it's just watch them work very, very hard.
So you watching them, how does that play into you being a producer? Like, do you think that you take on their work ethic as well, or it drives you to work even like 10 times harder?
Yeah, you know, because, you know, a lot of them are a little younger than me. You know what I mean? So just watch these young dudes. You know, young dudes, they want to have fun. They want to party. They want to go out and do, you know, young fun shit. With me, you know, like I said, I'm a little older. If I could watch a young dude say, you know what, forget the fun, forget the party, and forget this, I'm going to, you know, study my craft, I'm going to work on my craft, I'm going to master my craft, I'm going to go hard doing what I'm doing, then by all means, you know, of course you're going to take care and say, you know what, I want to do the same thing. I want to work as hard as them.
You can learn.
And yeah, you can learn. And that's what I've been.
The younger generation.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So, you know, hip hop is very influential in like style and fashion and all these things. So I have a little segment. It's called Get Into the Fit, right? Okay. So tell me what you're wearing today, because you're a fly guy. Let me see. Tell me what you're wearing.
I'm calm right now. We're going to start off with this, the Scott Dweller Rollie.
Okay.
We're going to start off with that. Let's get that out the way. Off-white jeans, off-white shirt, Timbs, polo drawers, off-white belt. Everything off-white that they come. You know, shout out to Virgil. Rest in peace to Virgil. Last but not least, No Manners. That's just what it is.
Let's get into No Manners. This is what we want to get into. So No Manners is your clothing line with two of your brothers.
No, it's my brother's clothing line with me.
With you?
Yes.
So it's your brother's clothing line with you.
Yeah, so my brother Oski and my brother Jeremy.
Okay, awesome. And we got them here today, right?
Yes, of course.
Say hi, y'all. Say hi.
What's up?
They
are
are
gotta
here.
be in the building. No Manners is in the building.
Yeah.
They have a lot of manners though, and the clothing line is hot though.
Nah, they really don't though. But
They really don't? Well, y'all fooled me. Y'all sure fooled me.
It's love. It's all love.
Y'all sure. So when did y'all collaborate and start this clothing line?
A few years ago, you know, I just want to be, you know, just elaborate on No Manners. It's really not like as far as No Manners, like I'm gonna stand on your couch. It's like I'm gonna do what we do. I'm gonna be fly. I'm not. The way I move is how I'm gonna move. You know, and it's like no disrespect to you, but disrespect to you. Right. I'm gonna step. You know what I mean? So that's our energy.
Respectfully disrespectful.
It's respectfully disrespectful. We gonna drip. If it's your birthday, we gonna come fly. I'm not trying to dumb it down. I'm not gonna satisfy your insecurities to make you feel Gucci. Like, that's just what it is. I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be regardless.
So I think we all should have a whole no manners attitude.
Yeah,
that's how you get to the bag.
That's how you succeed. If you want to really get into it, that's how you succeed. Forget what any and everybody feel, what they think is winning. Listen, I'm gonna do me the best of my ability. If you feeling the way, by all means, that's you. You're gonna have to eat that. I ain't got no manners. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, but it's disrespect. You dig?
So how long has the clothing line been around? And we're like what
3 years, 4 years?
3-4 years. So what made, this is like an all-inclusive conversation.
Yes.
What made you guys come to say, hey, I want to kick in the door to fashion?
So honestly, our whole narrative is to embody, rebelling the norm in fashion, because they don't like people like us in the fashion world.
That's true.
So we here to represent, not only just No Man is from, a street perspective, outside perspective, but everywhere where it's a mutuality. So now we fuse it with fashion.
Okay.
So we here to change the narrative on how people look at No Man is. From just off the terminology now. It's deeper that. The message behind my hoodie alone and his over there will speak volumes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So if it's a message that you can send from behind that hoodie, or what you want to say is from behind that hoodie, what would it be? Like, what would that message be?
Well, each of our pieces is going to give you a significant message.
Right.
That's just how we do, you know what I mean? Because there's so many layers with our culture and just the politics in the world itself.
Right.
So we just try to tackle one at a time.
Right. So when I throw on my No Manners hoodie, is my favorite motto is F what people say. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Do what you do.
I'm doing me. My biggest competition is myself.
Myself, yes, exactly.
So, okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like this. No, I need a shirt. I need a hoodie. I need to rock it.
We got you.
I need to. So y'all been around 3 or 4 years now, right? Where can we purchase your stuff? Like, where can we get it? How can we get to it? Like, it's a website. Like.
So all right. So, you could, as of now, you could directly contact us on our Instagram page, No Man is New York.
Okay. No Manners New York. You heard that. No Manners New York.
Like that. And we're actually in stores. One of the stores we're in is located in Corona, Queens, All Star Players.
All Star Players, Corona, Queens.
And we'll be distributing more in Brooklyn and the Bronx. O's Fresh for the Bronx area, and we'll be in showroom in the Brooklyn area.
Okay, so y'all basically, you're projected to just pretty much be tri-state in a little bit, maybe.
Not exactly. We have our website under construction right now.
Okay.
But it should be up and running before the month's over, because we have a new release that we're going to be debuting as well.
Okay, awesome. We were speaking out there earlier, and you guys have like a variety of items too.
Yes.
It wasn't only the sweaters. I heard you say like hats.
Hats. We have clocks. If you want to know what type of time we on.
That's right.
We got clocks.
That type of timing.
We have hats. We have hoodies. We have shirts. We have baby bibs. If you know what I'm saying, we can fix it. You know what I mean? So
I
no
was
matter
hearing
what
you
it
saying
is.
something about like a Uggs. You have like
No.
Oh, rugs.
Oh yeah, we have
I heard
rugs.
them.
We have rugs. We have
Yeah.
rugs. We could. We could throw on some Uggs.
I mean, you bring us some Uggs, we're gonna get with you.
Okay.
We're gonna get all the way with you.
We get with you, and yeah.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. So would you say that y'all can see yourself at Fashion Week? In a few years and doing those things?
I mean,
absolutely.
You know what it is too. Like he said, it's more so of just changing the dynamics of what fashion is.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, people live life as far as you have to do this, you have to look like this, you have to be this. I try to explain to people that's around me and people that probably maybe look up to me, or just people in general. There's no manual book to life. There's no manual book to live. So there's no way to look. There's no way to be. You understand? It's all on what fit you. So if throwing this hoodie on and this sweatsuit or whatever it is fits you for the day, then by all means wear that. But wear it. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it wear you. So,
I think people don't understand this about like fashion. Like you can see like a person to wear something, you wear it, and it look 20 times better on them than
yeah, for sure.
Because it's really your persona behind it.
It's
like how you
that's
gonna
what
throw
it
it on and
is.
swag it out. So
if I put a t-shirt on right now, I work out every day.
You
It's
Can I touch your muscles?
Of course. It's all there. It might hurt your hand, but
they hard, ladies.
You know what I'm
hard. It's like bricks over there.
So I said that to say, I put on a regular $3 t-shirt, and this guy got on a $400 t-shirt that says Louis Vuitton or whatever it is, I might look way better than him.
So are you saying that you'll be able to bag his bitches?
His
That's
mom,
what you're
and she with it. 34, I ain't a kid. But, you know, all in all, I said it to say, like you said, it's all on how you wear it. It's all on, you know, what fits you. And that's what we're here to, you know, to put in the world and change. Because people feel, you know, you have to look this, you know, even when I speak to certain artists, you know, they be not artists like big artists, but, you know, up and coming artists, and they feel like they have to look like this or they have to be this. And it kind of is crazy because when you thinking like that, you're not even focused on your craft.
Yeah, and also
you're focused on your image.
They start to dress like someone else, and you can clearly tell it. Like you can clearly tell it, and it kind of like I'm the type of person where, all right, I'll listen to what you say, but if I see you visually, it becomes a distraction, and I think most people are like that. So if you see him up here, he looking like a whole clown. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, how do you focus on what he's saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I feel like
but that's how the world turned. You know what I mean? Because back in the days, you know, everybody had on the dashikis and, you know,
big t-shirts.
And big t-shirts. Because I remember, like, you know, 2X long tees with the baggy fitteds was it. The boot cut jeans with the sneakers. Now, you know, and I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100.
I still like a nice boot.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it 100. I was one of them dudes that was like, yo, I'm not wearing no tight ass jeans, fitted, you know, like pants in the boot. Now look, I got the pants in the boot, tight ass jeans. But not to say, you know, I fell in, but it was more fitting. You know what I mean? And again, you know, change is good, but all in all, I wear what makes me comfortable.
Right.
I wear what makes me feel good. I'm gonna look good regardless. That's how I feel.
And that's no manners in its essence.
That's no manners, and that's just what it is.
Shout out to No Manners.
Big facts.
Awesome. So you're from Bed-Stuy and you grew up in Jersey.
Yeah, back and forth.
Back and forth.
Man.
So I'm very curious because, you know, when I went to Jersey, I went to Norwalk, right?
Okay.
I was over there. You can buy Hennessy out the corner store and stuff. And I was like, dang, no offense to my best friend, you know, shout out to Lady M. But I was like, dang, I ain't feeling a long time. I want to clutch my purse. And I'm kind of from the hood. You know, I was over there. So I wanted to know, what was the different dynamics of growing up in the sty in Jersey? Like, how was it? Like, was it a shell shock when you went to Jersey?
I'm going to keep it all the way 100. You know, I grew up in Inglewood, New Jersey. So that's not really like Newark. That's not really like, you know, that's not really like, you know, shout out to Newark, shout out to, you know, Jersey City. Shout out to Trent. Those
definitely mess with y'all over there. I go to my battle.
Yeah, those are my dogs. You know, shout out to Jersey City. I be on Garfield, Martin Luther King. Those are my doggies. But Inglewood is morely like suburbs. It's really quiet. It's really great. It's quiet. It's really clean. It's really safe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
you would say that was a big transition from the sty at the time when you went over there?
Nah, because even in the sty, I was like, you know, people. Their perception of the style is crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just let me just break it down a little bit. You can be, you know, on a real block, like let's say Gates Avenue, which is official.
Or Chauncey, shout out to Chauncey.
Yo, Chauncey's a little bit over, but let's just say Gates, right? Because everybody's familiar with Gates. Gates is official, hands down. I think everybody that grew up on Gates is like official to me.
Well, my aunt used to live on Gates.
Gates is just like the one. Because, you know, I know a lot of people from Gates. You know what I'm saying? I've been on Gates. I grew up over there.
So you probably know my family.
But now, let's just say you walk down 4 or 5 blocks down to, let's say, DeKalb, which nothing is going on. It's really quiet. There's really nothing going on. So if I tell you to meet me on DeKalb, you'll go over there and say, this is a beautiful neighborhood. Yo, bro, this is Bed-Stuy, yeah. But if I tell you to meet me on Gates,
that's a different.
It's a different world.
Yeah, it is.
And mind you, we 4 blocks away from each other. Same Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
I think Brooklyn has that kind of misconception, right? Like,
yeah.
Every time someone talks about, like, I'm at work, people are talking about Brooklyn. It's like the worst place on earth. I'm like, do you know where I live at? Like, you know, because their conception of how we live. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna point them out.
Yeah,
I'm snitching, Najee. I'm telling.
Who said that? Like
so it's like a common misconception. I'm telling him, like, yo, I live in Prospect Heights. Like, I'm 3 blocks from the museum. You understand what I'm saying? So when you come there, it's a totally different perspective as if you're talking about from Brownsville. Like, you know, it's just two different areas. Or even walk a few blocks over to St. Mark's. Well,
It gets dark.
it gets dark. So
It gets
I
dark.
think that is the issue with like Brooklyn in itself. Is like, you know, Brooklyn is
But
terrible.
see, with Brooklyn, you have to live in Brooklyn, or you have to understand Brooklyn, or been in Brooklyn to understand it. Like I said, you know, the example of Gates and DeKalb, it's a different world, and we talking a few blocks away from each other. In which,
Sure.
you know, if like I said, I tell you, if a person meet me at DeKalb, you got the library over there, pretty houses, you got the pool right there.
Right.
It's calm and cool. And we can be out there all night chilling. You might see one cop ride through, everybody sitting there chilling. I mean, meet me on Gates, it get dark.
You might get shot at a little bit.
A little bit, you know, it's a little robbery, you know what I'm saying?
Pew,
A little, you know, but again, it's not violence, it's just that people is more active over there. It's more,
Right.
you know, they're in tune with their hood, they
It's
know
just
who's who,
different. Yeah, right.
you know, and they're very, very territorial.
Right.
And again, it's not as far as like, you can't be here because you're not
Nah.
from Gates, but I'm from Gates, where you from? You know what I mean?
Right.
It'll get like that
It
quick.
can get like that. It
On
can
DeKalb, nobody's, you see a dog, like, there's nothing going on over there.
So this is, I want to get into, because we had this conversation too about your mom being an educator,
Yes.
right? And your stepdad being in law enforcement.
Yes.
And your biological father
Yes.
being an
I want to say,
entrepreneur.
like, that's like my biological father too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's your
I love
dad.
him. Yeah, that's my dog. That's my
Yeah.
heart. You know.
We're
He's-
not taking away from you, Papa.
Yeah,
we
nah,
not.
that's my
Not
dog.
at all.
That's my.
Not
That's my
at all.
God.
But I see that you grew up in like different dynamics, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to know, like, how did that impact the way that you move or decisions that you made being outside? Because you seem like you were outside.
Oh, super.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So I want to know.
You know what it was? You know, shout out to my pops. I love him to death. OD. He's like a man. You know what I mean? He loved my mom since I was 3 years old. You know, nurtured my mother, made my mother a better woman. I don't think she'd be the woman she was without him. Truthfully, he was an officer. You know, he taught me how to be a man, how to be respectful. You know, he taught me how to clean, how to do everything. You know, he loved me unconditionally. To this day, I love my mother to death. I love him to death, but I like him a little bit more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You hear that, Mom?
She knows what's going on.
You
She
hear
knows
it?
I'm riding
You
with
hear
him.
it? Yeah.
She know I'm riding with Pop.
You push these kids
Listen.
out and look how they talk about you.
She know I'm riding with Pop all day. But I said that to say, you know, having the privilege of having an officer dad, it was more so, I always felt protected. I knew he had me. You know, I knew I was safe. I knew I was loved. I was, I didn't want for anything. So that made, you know, things a little easier for me. Because whatever I want, I ask mom or dad.
And you were able to get
yeah, so no one could persuade me in the streets as far as, you know, if you do this for me, I'll get that. I don't got to do that. I'll call my dad here, buy 10 of those. I'll call my mom, she'll give me that 50 times.
Right.
So that kind of saved me more so. But, you know, it also sheltered me. Because from a lot of things. You feel what I'm saying? Things that I was unaware of. But it's not like we live in Beverly Hills. Like I said,
absolutely,
you know.
right.
And
you
see
go around the corner, you could be on a different type of time.
It's going to be a different type of time.
Right.
And that's what it was, you know what I mean? And, you know, I went to private school, St. John the Baptist, you know, got kicked out and all that. It is what it is.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Why did you get kicked out of school?
I got kicked out. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
of no men is like you don't want to conform.
Yeah, I don't got time for that right now. You know, I'm not going over there right now.
Because you don't want to conform.
Yeah,
like,
I wasn't
and
really.
private school is very conforming. Like you get a uniform, you gotta.
I'm talking about
act
before I even
certain
got into school, I had to write a whole situation about Huckleberry Finn. I ain't even getting to school yet. The book this thick. I'm like, bro, I knew I ain't gonna be there.
I think a lot of that too.
I had to write a whole shit about Huckleberry. Did you ever read the book?
Yeah, we had to read it.
Shit is this thick, bro.
I had to read it in
And I'm talking about summertime before school started.
That shit. Yeah.
I didn't even want to. I didn't want to be there from
I
the
was in
get.
AP English.
But
we had
you know,
to read
I'm
it.
the only one that didn't read it.
Yeah, you know, but like I said, you know, just having him there as in law enforcement, and you know, shout out my aunts, his sisters, they're also in law enforcement still to this day. And I always felt protected. I always felt, you know, nurtured and loved, and it was cool. You know what I mean? As far as, you know.
So you said that you were sheltered, right? So, and you know, like you said, when you go around the corner, it could be a little bit different. So when you started to really come outside, like how was it a shell shock to you? Like how it was being sheltered? Like did you get out? Because usually you shelter, you get out, you get crazy.
Nah, I didn't want to get crazy. Even to this day, I don't want to get crazy. I get crazy though, but I don't want to.
Yes.
But it was more so, and I'm breaking down to you. Me and my mom, we had this conversation. I remember one day, vividly, we were in Jeffrey's in Soho. If you're familiar with Jeffrey's, they know they sell high-end things. And I remember being online, she was getting me a pair of Pradas. This is in 03, 04, when, and I wanted the Jordans and another pair of sneakers. And my mother's like, everybody got the Jordans. You're going to wear these. And I literally was crying, because I didn't want these Pradas. They look like shoes. I don't want that. I want these Jordans that everybody got. But she's like, you're not doing that. You're doing this.
Right.
Now, fast forward time, shout out to my mom for keeping me free. You can get me all these nice things. You want to make me different. You want to make me look, very neat and cool. But when I go around that corner, a lot of people don't have what I have.
Right.
So not only do I have to maintain who I am, I have to protect who I am.
Right, you're going to have to fight to keep it.
Yeah, so now it comes from being a predator, being a prey to a predator.
Right.
Because now it's like I'm a prey to the wolves.
Right.
Here I am, pretty boy, handsome guy, sheltered kid, nurtured kid. Mom is working in the school. Dad is a police officer.
And essentially to the wolves outside, it's like you're not out.
You're not even tough.
Yeah,
but in all reality, I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because not only am I tough, I have brothers, my little brothers that I have to protect. So I'm naturally tough.
Right.
So I didn't have to be made to be tough. I didn't have to be created. Right. I had to protect. Ultimately, like from birth, I knew my two little brothers needed me to protect them.
Right, absolutely.
So
being an older sibling,
naturally, I had to be tough to protect them. Now, not only do I have to protect them, I have to protect me. Right. Because you're not taking my Pradas, bro. You're not taking my Benson. You're not taking my NBA jacket. Now, it can happen. I'm not,
taking my JanSport.
But you're not taking JanSport. I was wearing Prada book bags.
I had
I was on that type of time.
And they was even stealing your strings off the. Well, I'm a little
I didn't
older.
have strings on. My mother bought me a Prada book bag.
Well, I'm a little older than
you. Pradas and all. Yeah, I know.
I am. I'm older than you, by a few years.
Then but I said that to say, you're not taking nothing from me. You're not violating me. You're not disrespecting me because I'm not a thug. Because I'm not tough like you. Right. Because I'm not. My pants not baggy, or I'm not screaming, or I'm not loud.
Well, unfortunately, in the hood,
I'm handsome and fly, and I smell good.
That's what it's like in the hood. It's a rat race, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's crabs in a barrel. That's why you get the brownstones around the projects, and you think that you're different. People different. This person got more money. Mm-hmm. That person got that, and for whatever reason in our community, when we see that, we don't want to be like it. Mm-hmm. We want to take it or bring it down. So
and there was a lot of that growing up. You know what I'm saying? The people. And again, it's an unfortunate situation.
It is. It's a very.
Even growing up, I had dudes that wasn't privileged. I remember bringing my homeboys, some of my friends home, feeding them because their situation wasn't as situated as mine, which is cool, and I loved them to death.
Right.
You know what I mean? I remember asking my mom, "Yo, can I get instead of 50, give me 100 because I want to give 50 to my friend." Mm-hmm. Or 25 to two of my friends, so we can make it right.
See, that's the difference between you and a lot of other people, though. Mm-hmm. Like they wouldn't do that. Like you understand? Like some people is just, I'm the man on campus, and that's how I want to keep it. So I read an article, right, in this magazine about you, and you were saying that your dad, Dollar Bill, right, he had passed away.
Yes.
Right. And you said growing up, you felt like you lived in his shadow. And this is why you changed your name. Yeah,
yeah. Well, everybody that knows me,
Dollar.
They used to my name is LB. Everybody called. Growing up, his name was Dollar Bill. So growing up, everybody called me Little Bill. You know what I mean? And my biological father, he was outside. I don't know if you're familiar with Solomon Security. They used to have signs around. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what he was. Solomon. Right. He owned Solomon Security, and he was into real estate. He was into the security company. And he did a lot. He was a street dude. I'm not going to take that away. He was outside, OD. Right. And, his life was very, very fast. It was very vulgar. It was very raw. It was very street. So it's very different from mom and dad.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I got an opportunity to be,
to see both.
Outside. So I'm in the projects with him. I'm over here with him, and I see the street love and the street cred that he has, which was appealing to me. And then I got to go home. And, especially at that time, everybody's like, your father's a cop, or and my dad got well loved and a lot of respect, but it wasn't more so like street cred. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
So as I grew up, being Little Bill, a lot of people had their expectations of who Little Bill is supposed to be
Because of who your father
because
was.
who my dad was. It tweaked me.
So
you know what I mean?
You would say that it tweaked you in a way where you felt like you had to live up to those expectations?
Yeah, and it was a challenging situation for me because I felt as if at one point I had to be him.
Right.
You know? It's like, you know, I had to be him. I had to be the replica of who he was.
So
And
what do you think that your dad Dollar expectations were for you? Did he want you to do anything that he was doing or be in the streets like how he was in the streets?
You know, he was very embracive. You know, he was a different type of dude. He was very embracive. You know, I could have been whatever it was I wanted to be, and he wanted to. Whatever it was I wanted to be, he wanted me to be the greatest. He wanted me to be the best. If you want to be a hustler, by all means, this is how you do it the best.
Right.
If you want to be a cop like your stepdad and you want to do that, then by all means, but be the best at it. Right. So he was very embracive. He was very encouraging. You know what I mean? He was a father. He wasn't like, you know how some people have a father. He was a father. Like, he was very loving and very on it. You know, and he just wanted me to be the best. But it wasn't him. It was the crowd. It was the people that made me feel so uncomfortable at times because, you know, let's say I had a KFC job when I was 16. I've been working since I was 11 years old. 12
So what was
years
your
old.
first job at 11 years old?
I was sweeping here in the barbershop. Shout out to His and Hers. You know,
Shout out to His and Hers.
Yeah, barbershop. His and Hers barbershop. It's really, it was on Myrtle and Flatbush. They actually took it down and built a big ass building. Every time I go over there, I get mad. But that was my first job. You know, and I mean, I wanted money.
Right.
And that's what Dollar was at. You know, I used to see the money. I used to see the nice cars, and I used to see. I just wanted my own.
So that's where your hustle comes from.
My hustle comes from.
Yeah, like not having to wait on acts or anyone.
Yeah, even though mommy and daddy was at home, it was a one phone call thing, one time ask thing. But it's a big difference when, you know, when I'm 13 years old and I'm going to pay, you know, my $50 little unlimited phone bill at 12, and you know, if I want to order something on cable, I could go walk in my mother's room and give her $30 of my own money because I want to order this, you know, this wrestling match or whatever it is because my friends want to watch. You know how you get a pay-per-view? I could give mommy $30 at 13 years old, 14. Yo, mom, we want to watch the game. Here's $20. It's $30. Here's $30. I made money at the barbershop.
Right.
You know, it felt good having money. It felt good to be able to go downtown and buy my friends pizza and McDonald's and had a little girlfriend and, you know, get her little, whatever it is. It felt good doing that. So
what would you tell the youth today? Like, you saying that you had to live in your dad, you felt like you had to live in your dad's shadow.
Yeah.
Right? And the common misconception of just even having a regular job, right? Sometimes it's put it's like a negative stamp on it. Like, you should be doing something else. You can make more money. Ooh, you working in KFC, you working in McDonald's. Like, what would you tell?
People laughed at me.
Right. What would you tell the youth today, being that you experienced it? Like, what advice would you give them if they're walking down the same road as you were, getting the same reaction? Maybe not having to live in their dad's shadow, but even taking that like 9-to-5 job.
You gotta get it where you fit in. You know what I mean? It's so easy to do wrong. Truthfully, you know what I'm saying? That's like the easiest thing to do. You know, one of the hardest things I've learned to do was doing the right thing at times. Grind, man. It doesn't matter how people, you know, look at you or what people may think or believe that you should do, what you should do or how you should be. Like I said, you have to do you. You know what I mean? You have to do you to the best of your ability, by all means. You know, if working at a 9-to-5 is what's going to get you where you need to be,
then do it.
Then do it. Please do it, because you got to understand that's not only the right way, that's the safest way.
Right,
because
absolutely.
You take bigger risks doing the other thing, despite if it was, you know, the streets, drug dealing, or scamming, or robbing. You know, it's a bigger risk. There's no reward at the end of the day. The reward is prison or death, unfortunately. So if that 9-to-5, and then again, you might work at the 9-to-5 and learn another situation, where, or you know, networking, get into another situation, and you know, build up from there. So that's not just, you know, you're starting in.
Right, absolutely.
At all.
So you hear that, you know, you get it where you fit in. We also discussed,
and work hard. I'm sorry, and whatever it is you do, they have to work hard. If you are going to work, when I worked at KFC, I swear to God, I worked so hard, man. Every day I worked hard. I wanted overtime. I wanted to be there extra, and people teased me. Like, I can honestly say, people used to come to my job and laugh. And I quit my job.
For doing that.
I was at 16 years old.
So
666 Myrtle Avenue. It's no longer there. It's on Myrtle Avenue.
so
Myrtle
we getting
and Bushwick.
old. That's what you're saying. We getting old.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
We getting old. We
666 Myrtle Avenue was my
So,
first job.
You have we we have our like side conversations when we talk.
Yeah.
And I did tell you that I want to touch on a topic where you did do some time in jail.
Yeah, I
right?
did. Oh, yes.
We're not going to get into the details of
Yeah,
what,
of course.
but I was very curious as to what was your mind frame going in there. How did you prepare yourself to do 7 years?
Unfortunately, it wasn't 7. I actually was sentenced to 9. You know, through the grace of God, I did 7. Came home on appeal, in which I'm still fighting right now. I was broken, you know, because I was innocent. I knew I was innocent. You know, people around me know I was innocent, but I didn't know the law. I didn't know how the law works. You know, and at that time I was 21. You know, anybody that knew me, they knew. You know, I had a lot of money. I was hustling. I was grinding, but I wasn't educated with the law.
Right.
And it backfired on me. You get what I'm saying? So going in, it's no preparation. There's no, I don't care how many books you read or how
There's
many,
nothing to
there's
prepare
nothing
you for
that
being
can prepare
behind
you
those
to,
walls.
because there's no manual book to the shit. So you think you preparing for what? You don't know what to expect. You understand what I'm saying? When you go upstate, and it's all mental. Everything that I'm doing now, I thought about doing then.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? What kept me mentally going.
Because you did say you started Bigga Vision probably a little bit before you went away.
No,
When you came home.
When I came home.
When you came
But see, again, Bigga Vision was something that I created in my mind while I was doing my prison time.
Right.
Because I needed something to do while I was there, you know, to allow me to mentally, you know, escape from my reality.
So what would you tell a person that's facing that time? Because it seems like you took your time and you really utilized it. You say, hey, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z when I get home. And then you accomplished it. So would you say when you behind those bars, like use your brain? Have a game plan for coming home?
You have to, you have to make a game plan. You have to, you know, think more so of knowing that that's not the end of your life. That's not the end of your life. So now you have to think about the new beginning of your life. When I get released from here, what am I going to do to better my situation? Because I'm not going to walk in the building and it's just going to be like, oh, that's dude that was, you know, he just came home. Or he didn't know. Because it's the time I bump the people. If I meet somebody right now, they wouldn't even understand or know what I've been through. I don't wear my pain, on my sleeve.
But that goes to say you do a lot of charity work too.
Yeah, of course.
You did some charity work in Harlem, where I told you I was at.
Yeah,
right.
Davies
You
performed.
would give Davies performed.
Yeah, I gave out book
you
bags.
Gave out
to
book bags.
the good kids.
You work with I think it was New York NYC as well. Doing some stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And a company called Harlem, basically.
Yeah,
it's NYC Factions.
Yeah,
you know,
we
so
went out there. We did our thing.
Right, you did your thing. So would you say that what you've been through have propelled you through charity work, or that's something you've always been doing?
I've always been like that. You know what I'm saying? Because growing up, I was privileged. You know, shout out to my mom and pop. I was ultimately privileged, so I always wanted to help people that was, you know, less fortunate or didn't, you know, wasn't being able to have at the time. But honestly, rest in peace to my best friend, one of my right hand men, certified.
Absolutely.
He was the dude that really was like impact into that. You know, my brother, he was giving out turkeys. He would give out clothes. He he was stopping the street and give a bum, like, I swear to you, yo, Bigga, you got clothes in the trunk? And give a bum like my jacket that's in my trunk. So, I swear to you. And I'm like, bro, get away from that man. So he's the one that's like kind of opened my eyes to show me, you know, if you want good in life, bro, you have to give good out. If you want greatness, you have to give greatness. So the world is more so like a turning tone of, you know, what it is that you put out.
So you experienced that loss this year, and we all saw that, like, on IG, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I wanted to ask was, what would you say would be his legacy for you today that you want to carry on?
Being real. Because at the end of the day, you know, I might not be able to be in a position where I can give out turkeys. I might not be able to be in a position where I can give out book bags.
Right.
Let's just say I lose everything tomorrow, and I don't have nothing. I don't have no money to offer a bum, or I don't have a shelter to give a person. But as long as I know I can remain me and stand on my toes and be who I am as a man and be bigger to my dying point, that's my legacy. That's something I could always say I take, because that's who he was, despite what it was. He was always him, if he had it or not.
Right.
If he had the opportunity to give out trinkets, if he had the opportunity to give out book bags, if he didn't have nothing at all, he was always him, and he taught me that. You know what I mean? And that's our legacy. That's something that we will always share, and something I take to my dying day. Remaining me, being me. Not allowing nothing or no one to to derail me and make me.
Yeah, shake you off your feet. With
exactly. So.
Well, Bigga, I want to thank you for coming and sitting with me.
I thank you, man. I thank you.
We are definitely wrapping it up now, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in and sitting with Shane B. Remember, we're going to always spread light, love, and positivity. And until next time.